Today on Oz, the doctor who says you can stack your odds against cancer.
Set the record straight for us.
Let me make it really clear. Cancer is not a game of chance, and it is not caused by bad luck.
Cancer-fighting strategies from a visionary doctor.
I know that it's possible to beat cancer in its own game.
Plus, it's not just for cooking anymore. From your hair to your skin, 99 ways to use coconut oil. Coming up next on Dr. Oz.
Now, I know you have seen the headlines about a recent cancer study. Here's what it says. Is cancer just bad luck? Or maybe you saw this headline. Bad luck may play a role in 2/3 of cancers. Now, before you feel defeated, listen to this. You can stack your odds against a disease that you fear most. Today, we are joined by a visionary doctor who says cancer is not just based on bad luck. Dr. William Lee.
I've been personally touched by cancer in my own family. I lost 2 uncles, one to colon cancer and one to liver cancer. And my frustration at not being able to come up with the answer to cancer, even for my own family members, certainly influenced me in the work that I do today. And that really sparked my passion.
That passion has transformed Dr. William Lee into one of the world's leading cancer researchers. His approach is simple. Target the rogue cells that trigger cancer before they can multiply and cause disease.
I asked the question, what can we add to our lives that could actually boost our body's defense system against cancer?
After decades of research, Dr. Lee says the answer to protecting yourself against cancer is in your hands and within your control.
We have to find a way that is safe, that is affordable, that is widely available, that makes sense for people to make decisions about themselves.
Today, Dr. Lee reveals his simple steps to help you stack your odds against cancer.
I see the answer to cancer. I know that it's possible to beat cancer at its own game.
Dr. William Lee is here. So when you read this study, which was so widely reported around the globe, what went through your mind? Again, the headline says basically for all the papers, cancer is just bad luck.
Right, when the media reports came out, the first thing I said was, oh no, another misconception about cancer. And I knew it was going to cause a firestorm because some media outlets ran their stories with a soundbite of cancer and bad luck. Yeah. But cancer isn't something you can actually reduce to a soundbite.
So bad luck is an issue we think about a lot in life. People have problems that we don't expect them to have. Set the record straight for us. I want it very clear from everybody to understand. Is the cancer risk that we have just purely a game of chance?
Right, so let me make it really clear. Cancer is not a game of chance, and it is not caused by bad luck. In fact, nothing could be further from the truth. Bad luck is being attacked by a shark or being struck by lightning. This study actually was based on a theory, a mathematical model, numbers plugged into a computer, and it's not based on patient research. Now, there's no denying that there are many risk factors for cancer, but the thing that's important to understand is that up to 90% of cancers are attributable to our environment, our diet, and our lifestyle, things that we can actually do something about.
90%?
Up to 90.
So if Mother Nature doesn't gamble, explain to everybody why we get cancer.
Right, so cancer is caused by mutations. But the fact of the matter is that we are forming cancers in our bodies all the time. But most of those cancers will never become dangerous because we've got these incredible defense systems in our body, like the immune system that protects us. They search out and destroy cancer cells. And another defense system is anti-angiogenesis that starves cancers by cutting off their blood supply. So to dodge cancer, one of the keys is actually to boost these natural defenses.
If I can, I want to make sure everyone's on the same page with us. Here's what your immune system basically is doing right now to fight cancer. I should point out something. Just want to highlight this. Dr. Lee alluded to it, but I'm going to say it really directly. If you can hear my voice, you probably have a cancer cell in you. You have a cancer. The good news is your body's immune system can find it and take it out. So the body's made up of all kinds of small cells, like these white cells, that come together to form your immune system. It's like your homeland security. It's always on the lookout for bad guys, cancer cells who want to slip through and infiltrate. They're looking. When those cancer cells form, they'll identify them. The immune system is rigged to attack even these sleeper cancer cells and bust them before they cause a problem, thus curing you, saving you from problems you never knew you had. To prevent cancer, it's important to keep the homeland security system strong. You gotta keep your body where it needs to be. It's gotta be robust and proactive so it can continue to be on the lookout against these cancers to really fight them off. This is actually what we think happens in the body. I'm going to underline what Dr. Lee said. It's an important point. He said up to 90% of cancers are due to environment. So you got to watch out for toxins. We talk about that on the show all the time. Diet's important. Simple things like eating lots of produce, greens, vegetables. These are things that are valuable because they awaken our body, keep the system robust and strong. And your lifestyle is important. Lots of things in your lifestyle, your sleep, your relationships, and we're going to cover some of those. Now, all of these things that you, and frankly, only you, have control over. So taking control of your health and your destiny should start today. Now, Dr. Lee says there are simple things you can do every day to stack your odds against cancer. The first is a power green tea. We've talked about green tea on the show. I appreciate the benefits, but you have a unique way with some pretty strong data on it.
Right, so I've been doing research to see if we could create a super tea by combining Japanese sencha tea, which is a green tea, and Chinese jasmine tea. And what we've done is actually measure the cancer-fighting activity of each one, and each one's actually pretty powerful. But what was amazing is that when we combined the two teas together, we found that the combo had 3 times the cancer-fighting power.
3 times?
3 times.
So if you don't mind, you literally take a bag of each and put them together?
Yeah, it's very simple. You just take 1 bag of each type of tea, and you put it in a teapot or a cup, and it's a 1-to-1 ratio. You put hot water in it, so 185 degrees Fahrenheit is the exact right temperature, and let it steep for about 5 minutes before drinking it.
So I'm sorry, so it's not boiling water, it's just hot water?
Yeah, it's actually just under boiling. And the reason is that green tea is a delicate tea, so you don't actually need to actually boil it to have a taste.
And how many times a day would you drink this?
I would drink it 3 times a day, for me, because I enjoy tea. But it's pretty good, right?
It's spectacular.
Yeah, so for people that are actually not sure if they like green tea, they should really try this. It's mild, it's got a floral flavor, and it tastes great.
It doesn't have the bite that some green teas have.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's very elegant. All right, well, 3 times a day I can do that. All right, that's more of a second issue, melatonin. Now, melatonin is something we talk about in conjunction with sleep. I actually thought it was sort of an interesting concept, but you're saying it is a natural cancer fighter.
Right. So melatonin is the hormone our brains release when we're sleeping. It controls our biological clocks. But new research in animals shows that melatonin can control our immune system. And it can actually be anti-inflammatory, and it can help starve cancer cells by cutting off the blood supply.
So we talk about melatonin pills all the time. Is that the way to get it? Does that have to be through sleep? Are there other dietary sources?
Get it through sleep. Always do it the natural way if it's possible. And the magic number for cancer prevention seems to be 7 hours. So one study showed that women who sleep 7 or more hours have a lower risk of ovarian cancer compared to women who sleep 6 hours or less. The longer you sleep, the more protective melatonin is released. So here's a simple tip, though, for people. If you're getting ready for bed at night, do a digital dim down. And what that means is that, how many of us get ready for bed and we take out our cell phone and check one more email?
Yes.
Don't do that. And the reason is because the light from the screen actually disrupts the melatonin that your brains release later during sleep.
These are simple everyday activities. Okay, let's move on to natural cancer-fighting foods. It's perhaps the most powerful place we can look for solutions, and you're a world expert in this. So walk us through 3 typical foods we should be eating daily.
Right, so let's start with tomatoes. They taste great, and they have cancer fighters called lycopene and beta-cryptozanthin.
Oh my goodness.
So
There'll be a quiz later, folks. Beta-cryptozanthin?
Beta-cryptozanthin. And cooked tomatoes actually can cut cancer risks in men for prostate cancer and in women for breast cancer.
How do you even figure this stuff out?
Well, you got to look at public health data, and then you got to actually go into the lab and dig it out. So that's part of what I've been doing. And it turns out that the most powerful tomato in terms of cancer-fighting nutrients is the San Marzano tomato from Italy. And if you cook it in olive oil, you can actually boost its power.
Yeah, by the way, that's called pasta sauce, in case you were wondering.
Exactly.
A little garlic doesn't hurt, probably.
Garlic doesn't hurt either.
All right, apples, what do they do?
All right, so the Red Delicious and Granny Smith apples, those are 2 apples with the highest concentrations of cancer-fighting polyphenols compared to many other apples. And studies have shown that eating 1 medium-sized apple a day can reduce the risk of lung cancer.
Keeps the doctor away.
That's right.
For a very good reason. It keeps the oncologist away.
Exactly.
All right. And onions.
All right. Well, onions are packed with natural cancer fighters called flavonoids. And the red onion has something extra. You see this red color in the skin?
Yeah.
That's due to a natural dye called anthocyanin that actually fights cancer cells. And so studies have shown that eating a half a cup of onions per day can lower the risk of ovarian cancer. So take this, add half of it to a salad at lunch, and the other half to a salad at dinner.
And these are making big differences in cancer rates, these kinds of moves?
You know what? Every little bit of edge that we can get counts. And so it's not about any one thing. There's no magic bullet. There's no magic food. It's really about the totality of our environment, our diet, and lifestyle.
That's why it's frustrating when you give that nihilistic headline that it's all about luck. Because I do firmly believe Mother Nature does not gamble. And I don't want it to be about guilt and blame. It's not about that. Bad luck happens. Some people get cancer, and God knows why it happens. But in general, we do have an influence on that, so let's nudge it in the right direction.
Exactly.
All right, there's one more cancer strategy that you're probably not expecting, but I'm going to go through it because I think you can all do this. It doesn't cost you a penny. I want you to put your hands up if you're here with your best friend. People always come to the show with their friends. They all put their hands up. They all have best friends. That's a good sign. So let me start with you guys. You guys sat in the front row. What's your name?
Tamika.
Keena.
And how long you guys been friends?
6 years.
How'd you become friends?
Traveling to Bermuda. She lived in Bermuda.
Then I moved to New Jersey, and we stayed friends.
You moved from Bermuda to New Jersey?
Yes.
Can I tell you something? I actually did my honeymoon in Bermuda, and I went down there. I met a very nice woman, and she told me that everyone in Bermuda goes to New Jersey for their honeymoon. Is that true? I'm serious. They go to the Poconos for their honeymoon.
Yeah, it's true.
You would never know it, but that's where they go.
It's true.
And how often do you guys talk together?
Pretty much every day or every other day. Yeah.
So quite a bit.
Yes.
Dr. Lee, he says that doing that actually slashes your cancer risk. What is it about a daily phone call to someone we care about?
Right. Well, actually, it turns out social bonding with friends is remarkably important for our health. Not only does it make us feel better, but it's a great way to reduce stress and prevent depression, which can lead to unhealthy behaviors that can increase cancer risk, like smoking, drinking too much alcohol, or even overeating. And now there's a direct link between socialization and actually lowering your risk of dying from cancer. And new lab research in animals shows that the oxytocin, which is the love and trust hormone that comes out when we do social bonding, that actually can fight inflammation, which is another trigger for cancer.
I just love this. Remember, you can slash your cancer risk. It's just a phone call away. For Dr. Lee's cancer risk slashing strategy, you can go to droz.com. I'll be right back. Thank you, guys.
Coming up next, everyone is going nuts over coconut oil. And it's not just for cooking anymore. From your hair to your skin, swap out your beauty products for this do-it-all wonder ingredient. 99 ways to use coconut oil. Coming up next. Supermodel Christy Brinkley, looking better than ever at 61.
How do you stay on the top of your game in the 60s?
Her best diet, beauty, and anti-aging secrets. All new Oz. That's coming up tomorrow.
All right, you love it for its nutty and tropical flavor, but coconut oil is not just for healthy cooking. Today, 99 ways to use coconut oil. Now, there are 99 bottles of coconut oil in my audience. Hold them up, guys. We're going to take one down and pass it around. We'll start with bottle number 99. Where's 99's right here.
Right here.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Now, turn it around. Show them what it is. Bottle 99. Take it down, spin it around. It is removes earwax.
Yes.
How do you normally use coconut oil? Come on down here.
I normally use coconut oil to cook with. So I'll make like a great coconut rice and desserts with it.
Well, that tastes pretty good.
Yes.
I'm going to talk about some unorthodox, healthy uses of coconut oil. And the first one, as you pointed out, was earwax. How do you normally get the earwax out?
Cotton swab.
Cotton swab.
Yes.
A lot of cotton swab users?
Hello?
Yeah, everyone loves cotton swabs. It's one of the worst ways to take it out of your ear.
No.
Yeah, it's like a front-end muzzle loader. You're taking that thing and you start shoving that Q-tip in there. You push that wax all the way in against the eardrum. Ugh. Doesn't it hurt you sometimes?
No.
It gets it all out?
Mm. Well, I don't know all out.
Yeah, that's the question. I've looked in there afterwards. There's stuff left behind. My kids have so much wax in their ears, I had to perfect this. This little technique my wife's family uses because they have lots of earwax.
Okay.
So come, have a seat here. I'm going to show this to you. You're going to like this. All right. So what you do is you first trust the person who's helping you.
Right.
Okay? And you turn your head down, put your right ear up to the sky.
Okay.
All right. And then you have very pretty ears.
Thank you.
Nice little pinna there. Now, you take some coconut oil, you heat it up a little bit. Don't make it too hot. Just warm enough that it's liquidy like this is. You can feel that with your finger. See, it's not that hot.
Okay.
I'm going to put that in there. And then after it's been in there for a few minutes and loosened up the wax that's in there, it literally melts with the wax. You take some water and add the water in there. We usually put the kids in a sink. And we basically wash their ears out. Now turn your head back like that. And you'll see it all come rushing out. Is it all coming out? Yep, I see it dripping out right now. And there's wax coming out of that ear. There was wax left behind from that Q-tip you tried. The failed Q-tip attempt. All right, look at that.
Whoa.
Little pieces of wax came out.
Nice.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
You hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Good, making sure. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Try that. Says. All right, now there are 98 bottles of coconut oil. Let's take another one down and pass it around. Where's Paola? Oh,
Right here.
she's right here. How are you? How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
So you want to spin it around and show everybody?
Yes.
It is makeup remover.
Yes. So I tend to have really dry skin. So one day I decided to use coconut oil to moisturize it. So I saw that the makeup was coming off. And I was like, oh my God. And I started using it after it. I started using it all the time as a makeup remover.
Well, you have remarkably smooth skin.
Thank you.
Don't you think? Paola, really? So show me how you do it.
Okay, so I take the cotton.
This would be a big money saver.
Yes. And first I do it in my eyes, around my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And then in circular motions around my cheeks. And look, all the makeup
Oh, it
comes
does
off.
come
And
off.
it
Look at
also
that.
moisturizes my skin.
That's a really cool idea.
Yes.
Where'd you hear about this idea?
I looked online, all the uses for coconut oil, and that was one of them.
It's a very smart one. Thank
Yes.
you very much.
Thank
All
you.
right. Now it's time for the 97th bottle of coconut oil that's remaining on the wall. Where is Deb? Deb, so take it down, pass it around. Let's see what it is. Let me see what your secret is. It is deep conditioning treatments. Come on here. People are saying yes. Have you all tried that? Yes. That's a common treatment. So if you don't mind, I want you to just show me how you actually do this on your hair.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I start off with a little bit of coconut oil, put in a bottle. I take some warm water, pour it in. Not too much. Put the top on,
Shake it up.
shake it up, get a little
That's good
crazy.
exercise. It's gonna mix. Oh, mixes in very little water, doesn't it?
Very little. You don't want to put too much water in. And then spray it all over your hair. You can do it wet or dry. I like to put it in dry hair and then go exercise for an hour or so, put on a shower cap, come back out when I'm done, get ready to get in the shower, and just wash it out.
So you go exercising in the shower cap?
Yes.
What do people say about that?
You know, the dogs don't mind.
The dog's so all right. So here's some pictures. Deb sent us authentic pictures in the process. There's a before, smiling with the spray. There she is during with the shower cap, yes. And then there's the, yes, that really does have a remarkable effect. A lot more body in your hair. It's a great idea.
Except for I usually exercise, not
Just
Candy
sit down.
Crush.
That's not Candy Crush. All right, thank you very much.
Okay.
All right, thanks, Deb. 96 bottles of coconut oil. Where's number 96? Where's 96? There she is. Split it around, take it down. It is moisturizing shaving cream. Come on out. Moisturizing shaving, this is an unusual one. Is it something you do frequently?
I do it whenever my legs get dry and I want that extra moisture, and it works amazingly well.
You willing to demonstrate it for us?
Why not? Sure.
Why not? All right. But, you know, just to give you some confidence, I tried this myself.
Okay.
So this morning, you know, in order to shave, I whipped it up, that little cream, put it on my face. I use an immersion blender. You can whisk it and get it nice and fluffy if you want. It gives a nice, solid consistency. You can do it right out of the jar, by the way. I don't think you have to whisk it if you don't want.
No, that's true.
So here's what I look like before my shaving experiment. I got a little picture there.
Wow.
There I am.
Okay.
Not such a handsome picture.
Oh, very handsome.
A little scruff. I look hungover. I got a very sweet, feel that there. What do you think?
Your wife's not gonna mind?
No, she
Okay. Very nice.
She does quality control in the morning.
I'm sure she did a great job. It's smooth.
It works. Now, you say this immersion blender, by the way, which I don't know if do you mix it up like this?
I use my whisk or my fork and just beat it.
Yeah, that's what I would do too. And for the guys out there, you don't have to do this.
No.
Just here, sit down over here. Let me see what you're doing. Show me some leg.
Oh, Lord.
You want to show some leg here?
You ready?
Yep.
Okay, it's winter here in New York,
It is winter here. You're right.
and I have a tan.
That's a nice tan.
So it's dry.
Yeah.
And once may I?
Please.
Great. So, it's so smooth. You put it on and see immediately your skin isn't dry anymore. All the hairs rise up, and you can go ahead and just shave from there.
It's an excellent point. Happen the same thing. See the hairs rise up a little bit?
Exactly.
It's like they're putting their hands up saying, cut me, cut me.
Yeah.
All right. Nicely done.
Thank you very much.
All right, anyway, there are 95 bottles of coconut oil left. We're going to take some more and pass them around. Well, you can. You go to DrOz.com, log on and find all 99 ways to use coconut oil. I'll be right back. Put them up.
Have a health question? Ask on DrOz.com and get answers directly from Dr. Oz and his team of experts. No question is off limits. Next, a school asks for help to save their beloved gym teacher, a woman who dedicates her life to getting students healthy, but struggles herself. Can they help her get fit and turn her life around? They'll plan to put your health to the front of the class. Next.
So I got this letter from a school asking for help for their beloved phys ed teacher who dedicates her life to getting students healthy but struggles herself. Meet Ms. Hargraves.
Get your muscles moving. We don't want to overdo it.
Kelly is our only gym teacher. She's our only health teacher. She shows the kids how to make healthy choices, both with exercise and food. And she is one of the most dedicated teachers that we have here at St. Jean's.
Kelly's very passionate about health and good nutrition.
I've worked with Kelly for 5 years. She really does have a very big impact on these students' lives.
I love Ms. Hargraves. She means a lot to me because as an incoming freshman, I was insecure. I was struggling with my weight. Her classes taught me to be more confident in myself and how to be healthy. After working with her, I've lost over 40 pounds and I feel great.
You're gonna feel it.
Kelly is great at telling the kids how to eat right and what kind of fitness schedule they should have, but she doesn't always practice what she preaches.
During break, I think it's hard for Kelly to resist temptation. The faculty room is full of food all the time.
During lunch, some teachers make healthier choices than others.
She'll go outside to a store or to the deli or something and get something. It's probably not a healthy choice.
Sometimes Ms. Hargraves does show us the drills, but she doesn't exactly participate in them with us.
Given the physical demands of Kelly's job, it's not unusual to see her tired at some point on the stairs or tired at the end of the day.
Go.
Kelly spends most of her time giving to her children and her teams and her students, and I think it's time for us to help her create a healthy lifestyle.
We want to see Kelly get in shape. We definitely know that she wants it for herself, and we want to do anything we can to help her get there.
Students, teachers, and administrators from Ms. Hargraves School are all here to help her get healthy. Dan works with her. He's a teacher together with her. So what's going on? Why are you worried about her health?
We know that Kelly wants, she's the face of physical fitness and health in our school, and we know that sometimes it's difficult for her to be that way, for her to participate fully with her students in their activities and to model what, good nutrition looks like. So as a school, we're here to support her so she can really be that face of health and fitness.
Literally, half the audience here is from the school as well. I know you all want her to be healthy, and she's actually trying to be healthy, but she gets derailed. Jody, why is that?
I think she puts everyone before herself, her children, her students, the athletes on her teams, and at the end, she forgets about herself.
Which a lot of moms do in general.
Yes.
People who take care of others. So Ashley, you're in Ms. Hargraves' class.
Yes.
I'll show you a little footage in there, dancing around, prancing down the hallways. You actually lost 40 pounds, is that right? How'd you do it? What was it about Mrs. Hargraves that was able to impact on you?
In her health class, she taught us about the consequences of being overweight and things like diabetes, which I have a history of diabetes in my family. So I didn't want to go down that road. So I used her guidance and her tips like portion control, proper servings, exercise to have that healthy lifestyle that I wanted. The goal was never to be skinny. The goal was to be healthy.
Beautifully stated. And you got that from Mrs. Hargraves?
Yes.
But she's not doing it for herself. Not much. Chanel, what's your favorite thing about Ms. Hargraves' class? Did she paint your nails, by the way? Don't notice these nails.
No, I didn't. Thank you. I think one of my favorite things about Ms. Hargraves' class are the activities and the games, because while we're having fun and being energetic, we're also staying fit and healthy without even knowing it.
Yeah, which is the best way to do it. Cheryl, you're an administrator at the school. Why is Ms. Hargraves so invaluable to the program?
Kelly is incredibly hardworking and she's dedicated to our girls inside the classroom, in the gym, and in extracurricular activities. She's a coach, she's the athletic director. Anytime you ask anything of her, she's the first person up and she's ready to go and help anything for the girls.
So y'all want to meet Ms. Hargraves? Yeah. I'm curious about meeting her. Ms. Hargraves, please join us. Come on out. These people really love you.
Yes, they do.
What's your
It's
reaction?
wonderful.
What's your reaction to the concerns that they're showing for you?
I'm hoping it's going to be motivation to change and move forward.
Let's talk about your health for a second. I've heard from some of your colleagues that you're always putting others before you. Do you have any issues with your health that you're worried about?
I just really want to become more healthy. A year ago, I had emergency gallbladder surgery.
You did.
I was having heartburn, so I thought I just was having heartburn, and it ended up being gallbladder, and I needed emergency surgery. So that kind of was a wake-up call. It made me start to wonder, maybe I need to do something. Some of the things I preach.
Yeah. You know that heartburn symptom that you're having? That's also usually what happens with women when they have heart attacks.
Yes, I know.
Next time, that might be the warning sign. You don't want to get that one.
No. Oh, absolutely not.
What motivated you to be a physical education teacher in the first place?
I've always coached and always worked with children. I was in business first. I went to school and got a degree in business. And I always wanted to be a teacher and just never went back. And my mother said to me, why don't you just do that? And a lot of people said, don't become a physical education teacher because I was older and out of shape. And I never listened to that kind of stuff. It was my dream, and my mother was there for me. And I started school, and unfortunately, a month in, she died unexpectedly.
Well, I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
Sorry.
And I was gonna stop, I was gonna quit. But I realized that she inspired me to go, and I did it.
So here's the deal. All these wonderful people came together because they want to help you. So if you're willing to work with us,
okay,
we're going to make that happen.
Okay, great.
Right. When we come back, Miss Hargraves has got a plan for her. She's going to love this plan. So will anyone else out there who's having trouble staying on track, just stay right here.
Coming up next, do you devote more time to others and neglect yourself as a result? Give your own health a chance. Learn to educate yourself with easy lessons to eat right and stay fit. The plan for anyone who needs help to focus on themselves. Coming up next. Supermodel Christy Brinkley, looking better than ever at 61.
How do you stay on the top of your game in the 60s?
Her best diet, beauty, and anti-aging secrets. All new Oz. That's coming up tomorrow.
Welcome back. I'm here with Ms. Hargraves. She's a health and physical education teacher who needs motivation to eat right, move more, and lose weight, like so many of us. So Ms. Hargraves is here today because she's going to be the student. Your school has a lesson plan that you're going to enjoy a lot to get your health back on track. We're going to start off with the biggest hurdle, the break room.
Okay.
Here's a picture of your break room. If you don't mind, walk me through. What is the problem here? Why is it such a huge obstacle for your health?
There's always availability of food that's really not good for you. So, if it's there, you might want to pick it up and
so
eat
they
it.
chum the waters for you.
Yes.
And they catch you every time with that bait.
They do. They catch me.
All right. Come on over. Your math teacher, Jody, and Administrator Geraldine are here. They're going to help you remake the break room. So, Jody, since you're a math expert, you have mathematically calculated a way, a problem-solving way of getting around this obstacle.
Yes, I've done all of the equations, and we are going to completely restock the break room with healthy components of a delicious snack. We're going to have dark chocolate, Greek yogurt, peanut butter, and cocoa powder.
And what's mathematically so important about how you did this?
All of our snacks are going to be under 200 calories.
Awesome.
I like that. So no matter what mistake you make, it's not that big a one.
That's good.
And Geraldine, how are you going to help out?
All right. Well, one of the biggest problems that we have is that Kelly's actually the supplier of the donuts in the break room.
Are you really? You're the enabler.
The plan is that I'm going to stop at the fruit stall before she gets to the donut store, and I'm going to bring these in to the break room.
It probably takes just as much time to go there as a donut
It most
place.
certainly would. Yeah, even quicker.
Even quicker. Come on over here. I took the liberty of making a couple of our meals that we have on the Total Choice plan. These are absolutely delectable meals. They're all under 200 calories, so they're just like the same as we had before. And I'll walk you through these. You can find all these on DrOz.com, by the way. But you don't have to make these. You can get any way you want. These are some samples. So go ahead and taste whatever you like. This is a Greek yogurt. Mix a little bit of cocoa powder in there. Here I drizzle some chocolate, dark chocolate though, on grapes and on strawberries. You can also have peanut butter on top of them or on a banana. This is a yogurt parfait. Whisk it up a little bit. You know what this is? This is a baked apple. You literally take the apple, you toss it in the microwave, you wait 4 minutes, and it's done.
That's great.
So you can go from that table to this table like that. If you make it easy to do the right thing in your life, in particular, for example, in the break room, the right thing will happen. It's like what you teach your kids in phys ed class.
Right.
Build the habits, simple little moves done right every time. Probably the best example of that is this young lady actually next to us here. Because what you did for her was to change her life forever. And so I'd like you to be the student for a second and have Ashley help us teach you how to automate your vegetables. Am I getting this right?
Yes, yes.
I mean, it's emotional for me just to watch this process.
Oh, yeah. It is. It's, you know, when Ashley told me that I helped her, it was one of the best things a teacher can have happen to them.
Yeah.
That you can reach someone. So
it makes it all
it's
rewarding, isn't
Absolutely.
it? So for all the teachers out there, this is actually what happens all the time. You just don't hear about it. The Ashes of the world don't tell us, but it's out there.
Absolutely.
All right, Ash, take it away.
So one of the many things Ms. Hargraves taught me was that I needed to get my 5 servings of vegetables a day. I had no idea. So when I started this healthy diet, I found ways of getting my 5 servings in a way that I didn't even notice. So for breakfast, I'd have a green smoothie. And then for lunch, I'd go to the salad bar that we have at our school, and I would just eat a salad. Before dinner time, I'd have my 5 servings of vegetables.
That's your salad bar, isn't it?
Yes.
That picture?
Yes, it was.
I mean, you do recognize it, right?
I do recognize it.
Yeah, you swing by
I don't go by much,
No,
but I do recognize.
I mean, just taste this. I mean, Ashley made this for you. If this is the reward we get back from the people in our lives who we've helped, it makes it all worthwhile.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. You can follow this lesson from Ashley?
Yes,
Even though you're the teacher?
Absolutely.
All right, let's move on to Dan. Dan's got a way to help you boost your energy. He says you guys have a little bonding ceremony you go through every day.
Yes.
I know that we have a lot of free time together, and the afternoon is sometimes the hardest time to stay energized. And because of your heartburn and you don't usually drink a lot of coffee, I thought we could have tea time together. And we could have, green tea is a good source of energy with a little lemon. I thought we could do daily tea time in the afternoon.
Absolutely, that's great.
And that can get us revved up for the rest of the day.
All right, so the last pit, since you're a phys ed teacher,
Yes.
is we decided to do a little phys ed, but we're gonna have the kids do it with you.
Okay.
Come on over here.
Sounds
Thank you,
good.
Dan. Constantina, Chanel, Fanta, and Isatu are here. They're all having a gym class.
Yep.
So what they're doing here, which I'm gonna hopefully do with you in a second, is pretty impressive. They learned this exercise from you. So Fanta, explain what's going on.
So what they're doing is Chinese jump rope, and it's simple as to the jump rope that we do, except that the ends are tied together, and we do this a lot in Ms. Hargraves' class. It's very fun, and it's also simple to do.
You do this at all?
I could do the first level, but that's about it.
Will you teach me how to do the first level?
Sure.
All right, let's kick off the kids. They get to play all the time. All right, so I'm gonna get this side here. Okay, so where do we start? We start in the middle.
So we start in, then out, side, side, out, side, side, out, on, out.
Raise it up. No, raise it up. I want a little more challenge. We can do this. We're going to do this as we go. As we go to break, we're going to do it. But here's the deal. Jumping is great exercise. You don't have to jump. You don't need students to do all this. You can do this. You can jump on your own. But I think there's always something we can address. Just 5 minutes a day. If you're jumping around, will make you a lot better off. Burn calories, raise your heart rate up, and make it the woman you want to be, because you are worth it. All the people who love you dearly are making that clear to you.
Yes.
Do you hear that message?
Yes, I do.
All right. And what are you going to do about it?
I'm going to really be motivated to do it for myself this time.
Guys, I love having you all here. Thanks to the students, the teachers, administrators of the school. We'll be right back. All right, come on. Let's do it.
Coming up next, Bobby Christina Brown, Bruce Jenner, the Kardashians. Why are we so obsessed with Hollywood's growing health issues? From plastic surgery to gender transitioning. Inside Edition's Deborah Norville is here to help us break it all down. Next.
The rumors swirling around Whitney Houston's daughter, reports of plastic surgery surrounding Bruce Jenner's daughters, even Beyonce's new weight loss diet. They're the biggest celebrity health stories making headlines around the world right now. Here to break it down for all of us is the host of Inside Edition, Deborah Norville.
How are you?
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I love the way you bring soul, some insight, texture into these different stories. And it is remarkable to me how much we are fascinated by celebrities. And I gotta say, as a physician, even more fascinated by the amount of information coming from them about health.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, I think it's nothing really new. If you think about it, people since the day of Cleopatra. Word was that the queen was going out, the people lined the sidewalks. So it's nothing new, but I think what's different today is there's so many different ways to scratch that celebrity itch. Used to be you just had the magazines back in the Hollywood studio days. Now you've got television programs, you've got the internet, you've got your cell phone, you've got your Twitter feeds. So there's so much information coming at people, and I think they like to feel in the know. And while I may not know the Jenners or the Kardashians, I feel like I do because I see them so often in so many different venues.
In your living room.
Yeah.
On your phone, everywhere.
Everywhere.
But the first story we're going to talk about is a tragedy that's gripped just about everybody. In an eerie echo of her mother's death, Whitney Houston's daughter, Bobby Christina, was found face down and not breathing in her own bathtub 1 month ago. So the rumors are that the Bobby Christina's family has been maybe taking her off life support. That's pretty much speculation.
Yeah.
How is the family holding up? How do they deal with this kind of a crisis?
I think they're holding up exactly the way any family would be holding up, is by a thread. This is a terrible situation coming almost to the day 3 years after Whitney Houston was found in a very similar way and died in a bathtub. We don't know how the family is holding them. And that's one thing that's very important, I think, that I want to say is there are all those sources close to the family. The family has specifically said, we don't want any information out. What we know is that she was found face down in the bathtub. What we know is that she's in a medically induced coma. What we have heard is that they have tried to bring her out of the coma and that didn't go well. But what we know is that they want us to pray for this young lady. And that, you know, as a doctor, you know, that actually does make a difference.
It helps a lot. It soothes us. Let me, if I can, walk everyone through what's been reported medically, what we know is happening with Bobby Christina. So she has been in a medically induced coma for over a month. What that basically means is in order to rest the brain and not stress it out, you give medications that keep her out as though she's in a coma. Now, recently, doctors attempted to take her out of this coma, but she began to have seizures. And those seizures, of course, are dangerous to the brain. You don't want to stress the brain out any more than it already has been injured, so that has not worked. There's also been a report that a breathing tube was placed in her throat. Now remember, usually it's in her mouth, but if people are going to be in a ventilator for an extended period of time, you move the breathing tube from the mouth into the throat area. It's a smart thing to do because it allows us to keep the lungs clean and it's more comfortable from the patient. But if she's indeed in a deep coma, I've got to say pretty honestly as a physician, for this long, then it does predict a poor outcome. So we're all praying for her to your wish. Now come on up here. I want to ask you a question about something else. Bruce Jenner.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Okay. So obviously he's being rumored to maybe be in a transition in his own life, transitioning from a male to a female. But his daughters have also been making the headlines. So this is Kendall and Kylie Jenner. I'm going to show that picture in a second as well.
Right.
Maybe they've been having plastic surgery. And I'm just going to show some pictures.
And this is kind of controversial, too. I mean, people are really talking a lot about this.
Do you think it's more that they're having a plastic surgery at all, or that they're so young and having it?
Well, I think there's a difference. You know, when you cross the 18 line, it's your body to make those decisions about. So this is Kendall, and she's the one who's the model and, you know, just wowing them all on the catwalk.
And she's 19.
She is 19, right. So she is the age of majority to make these decisions for herself.
So here she is 3 months before this picture was taken.
Okay.
I'll just have you compare those two.
I think there's a little bit of something different to her nose. I think she's absolutely adorable. The before and the after, I don't see that big of a difference. Kylie is a different story, though.
Let's show Kylie. Kylie's 17. And here's her image from before and a recent photo. And I'm not going to put you on the spot, but just everyone in the audience sort of compare these images, and you're our heart judge.
What do y'all think? Yeah.
You think she had something done?
I think she's had so much done, and honestly, as a mom, I have a 17-year-old daughter. Yeah. It makes me want to cry. It makes me want to cry. And how did this happen on her own? I don't think that's possible. I think you have to you can't operate unless the mother or the father have signed documents permitting this surgery to take place.
Well, Kylie's denying that she had anything done. She says she's actually, she's not against plastic surgery, but she says she doesn't quite desire it now. So giving her the benefit of that, maybe nothing's done. But one thing I do want to point out as a physician, I look at these pictures and I got to agree with the audience that they seem different, but we're not professionals.
Right.
So I'm actually today, for the first time, going to have a professional, a plastic surgeon, Dr. Yael Halas. She's over here. And I'm going to ask her to analyze Kylie's face.
How are you?
So, if you don't mind, thank you for being here.
No, thank
as a professional, as someone who does these kinds of operations, analyze for all of us how you would interpret whether or not she had an operation. Again, We haven't been involved in her care directly, but do the best you can to help us appreciate what's going on.
Sure, absolutely. The first thing that everybody points out is definitely, and we have to take a look at it, are the lips. There's no doubting. They're wider, they're fuller in size, and really the number one way that we're accomplishing this in the office is in office procedures, injectable Restocking or Juvederm. I mean, that's the number one thing that women in their 20s really are doing, to get that sexy, fuller pout. The other things that people are asking me about are the nose. Definitely if we're looking at the middle third of the nose, we see that it is narrower, more refined than when she was younger. A little bit of that can be done with filler, replacing a little bit of filler. The other thing that they're pointing out is that she has a little bit of elevation when we look at the tip point as being a little bit elevated up. But here in the cheeks, we have so much more definition compared to the flattening that she had before. Maybe there's a little bit of loss here when we're looking at these. Some of that is a little bit of the baby fat going away. Maybe a little bit of that, but...
So the bigger question I think a lot of folks are struggling with is whether she had injections or something more significant done. Is it appropriate for someone who's still a minor? And so we asked the audience, would you allow a teen in your family to get plastic surgery? 92% of you said no. And because of Kylie's age, it would have required a parental consent. You made the point already. In Chris's situation, it's a challenge. And she's probably dealing with a lot of things, but she would have had to, in some way, been engaged in this. So hopefully it's a family making a decision together. Not, rogue procedures being done. Thank you for the advice. I love having you on.
Thank you so much.
We'll be right back.
Supermodel Christy Brinkley's anti-aging secrets.
How do you stay on the top of your game in the 60s?
All new Oz. That's coming up tomorrow.
I saw something on heart disease and Twitter that really caught my attention. I can't wait to show it to you. Here's the deal. First, here's a map from the CDC that shows the rates of heart disease across states. It's based on death certificates. Right? That's not what's new. Let me show you what's really intriguing. This is a map showing the number of negative tweets in different regions. Look at that. Look pretty similar, don't they? CDC, who's having heart attacks. Twitter, who's saying negative things. There's a new study that compared the emotional content on Twitter and found that negative emotions like stress and fatigue and especially anger matched up almost perfectly to where the CDC is finding heart disease. In fact, the Twitter feed predicted heart disease risk better than other risk factors like smoking, high blood pressure, and even obesity. Now, there's good news here too. Positive emotions like optimism and excitement were associated with lower risk. So as a heart doc, here's my new prescription. Take out your phone, write something positive to somebody, do it right now. It'll be good for your heart. Now it's time for, in case you missed it. First, many of you use coconut oil for your healthy cooking, but a new use is to remove your earwax. You warm up a little bit of the coconut oil, not too hot, about a half a tablespoon, and then pour a couple drops into the ear. You can use a dropper to do that. Let it settle for a couple minutes. It softens up the wax. It also works as an antimicrobial. It can kill bacteria and viruses. They can lead to some ear infections. Then you just add some warm water to it, wash it out, turn the head over, and let the wax and water drain out. We use it for our kids all the time. They have lots of wax. Finally, let me close with a warning. I want you to be careful about what you buy online, especially weight loss pills. There's some dubious people online that prey on folks like you who are trying to do the right things for your health. Sometimes they make it seem like I'm endorsing the products that they're selling to you, but I don't. To see a full list of our trusted sponsorship partners, you can go to DrOz.com, and I'll see you next time.